there's three aspects to business. You've got marketing, you've got sales, and you've got delivery. And the cool part about YouTube is that it's content creation and it markets your services and products and you to the whole world. And YouTube takes care of the algorithm and makes sure that it gets out to the people that want and need to see who you're talking to. They will try and figure out your language based on what you're talking about of people who's going to be interested in it. This is marketing 101. Back in the day, it was TV. And businesses had to put an ad between shows that people just watched all night long. And now people don't watch TV anymore. They watch YouTube. And where do you want to be? Where people are. So if you're going to start a business in 2025, it doesn't matter what type of business it is. If it's a sole YouTube business, fantastic, get started. But if it's in any other type of business as well, get started on YouTube because that's where you'll figure out everything that needs to happen in order for you to succeed in business. Here are the 8 or 9 things that I would have done differently if I started over again today. So, first thing that I would do is I would invest immediately in expertise that were further along than me. Okay, someone that had done what I wanted to do for multiple years and figured out the basics so that I could understand the basics from day one. It is unnecessary to go a long period of time without understanding the basics of YouTube because all of the information is right there for you to get started properly. Okay. So the one of the people that I admired when starting YouTube that kind of gave me the oomph to just get started. For me, that was Graham Stephan. And Graham Stephan is a finance guy who has I think 5 million plus subscribers on YouTube today. Back then he didn't. And he had a course for $297. I waited a year to invest in myself and to invest in YouTube when it came to getting YouTube expertise. But when I finally did it, I skyrocketed to 1,000 subscribers literally almost overnight, like over the next few weeks or something. It was insane how fast it went once I had the basics down. But it took a year. So I basically wasted an entire year of making videos every single day and not making any form of real progress. What I did invest in was someone to work for me full time in Norway, I might add. So it accounted for approximately $3,000 for 1 month. And I thought this was going to be a full time gig for that guy in order for him to do my setup with microphone and lighting and all the things that I needed, which he did, which I'm grateful for. And I kind of learned from him and figured it out. I didn't need to do that though. Like it was ridiculous. And this is one of the reasons why it's so important to pay for basic expertise because you might do something that is completely off the hook. What are you doing? Type thing like I was doing back then. Don't massively invest thousands upon thousands of dollars because you don't need to. You just need to find someone who is further along than you. The bigger he is, the less interaction you're going to have with him, right? So if he's a little bit smaller, but you know he's way ahead of you, then invest at least $200, $300, whatever it is, to just get started with the proper basics. Very important. And don't invest a ton of money because you might run out of money and then suddenly you lose faith in your YouTube thing and then you never do it again. So very important. That's what I would have done. Second thing, I would have determined a specific amount of hours per week to invest in my YouTube. Most of you guys have a full time job. And so if you have a full time job, you need to do it on the side of that. There's going to be times when it's very difficult to get the learning in, the production in, the preparation for recording, everything that needs to happen on a YouTube journey. If you don't set aside a specific amount of hours to making it happen, it's not going to happen. So it's the same thing with money. Like you need to set a specific amount of money to help you on that journey as well. But you don't need a lot. But with YouTube, you need a lot of time. Kinda. Okay? And what I mean by like in my situation back then, I had 1 hour per day. And I was thinking maybe I could do 2 hours, an hour and a half, because I had a wife, I got 3 kids that were below the age of 7, 5, and 3. Okay, so it was a very crazy time frame. Although I had actually quit my job before then because I had businesses that was running. I had 3 businesses at the time, so YouTube became like the 4th business. Uh, but I got it done, but I didn't have a lot of time. But I needed time in order for it to succeed, and so it was approximately an hour and a half to 2 hours a day. And then I realized that, oh my gosh, I can't script all of my videos. This is gonna take freaking too long. So I cut it down, and eventually I only spent 1 hour every single day before the kids woke up, before my wife woke up. I would just go upstairs into my loft with my setup and make a video. And I did that every single day for 2 years, basically, of putting in that 1 hour every single day and preparing for the video and then making the video. And that was probably what allowed me to get the momentum that was necessary and for me to gain the skills of speaking on camera, etc., that launched my business to the 1,000 subscriber count after 1 year, right? I just needed a few tweaks to it that I got from Graham Stephan's YouTube course, and then boom, I was up there. So set that specific amount of hours and then stick to that no matter what, long term. If you know you're going to do this for life, then just keep doing those X amount of hours per day and track it and never stop. By the way, if you stick around, I'm gonna let you know on what are the 2 things that Graham Stephan told me in that course that absolutely changed my YouTube business and helped me to get to that 1,000 subscriber count. Okay, so the next thing I would do is to not do any shorts. Actually, back then, I don't think shorts was really a thing. Maybe it was. I just don't remember. But right now, today, it's a lot of confusion when you start on YouTube. It's like, should I do long form? Should I do shorts? What should I do? And the shorts are easier to make, so maybe I should just start making shorts. I personally would not do any shorts whatsoever. And the reason why is you need to understand the monetization aspect of things. Like you're building YouTube in order for you to make money. Okay? And shorts, you get paid 100 times. Like 100 times more per 1,000 views with YouTube long form than you are with YouTube shorts. Well, with shorts, I could put it on YouTube, I could put it on Instagram, I could put it on TikTok. Yeah, great. Okay. And eventually, maybe you should do that as well. If you're a proper business owner, you want as many people to see your product and services as possible. Okay. But if you're starting out with YouTube, you need to learn the long form game so that you can actually start making money as fast as possible. Ditch shorts because it's a different business, completely different business model, and just do long form and monetize that way because you need watch hours. So even if you have subscribers and you've done shorts, you don't have enough watch time once you get to 1,000 subscribers to get the long form game working for you and get better at speaking to the camera and get better at that game. Okay. So the 4th thing is I would decide early upfront what do I want to do when it comes to going live or actually posting regular videos. I wanted to learn how to speak off the cuff because as a business owner, you want to be able to go on stage or you want to be able to do a sales call or you want to be able to do something that you need to do like ad hoc while the spotlight is on you. And I wanted to learn that skill and I wasn't the best at it back in the day and I'm still progressing as of now. Although I am still rusty because, it's been a few weeks and months since I actually did YouTube in general. But once you get momentum with that and you do that every single day, you're no longer rusty. You know what you're doing. And live is actually a powerful skill to gain. On the other hand, if you just do live, and what I recommend if you are going to do live is to do it every single day exactly at the same time. And I'm progressing there, getting there. But that's my kind of plan. And I'm going to be doing these lives every single day around this time. I want to make it at 7 a.m. my time, which is usually around 11 midnight in America, in the East Coast. And I will take down the video. I'll probably keep it on my Instagram. And then I will edit it and make it into a long form edited video maybe the next day or the next week, or maybe I'll never upload it because it was crap, but it doesn't matter. That's kind of how I'm going to do my thing. And then if you don't want to do live like I'm doing right now, then just do regular long form videos like it's, like most people do on YouTube, okay? And if you do that, then you take those specific amount of hours and you divide it up 50-50 between preparing and planning for a video. And then number 2, which leads me to the next thing, is to master each part of YouTube. And I'll explain to you very briefly what each part includes, because it's very simple, but when you start out on YouTube, you don't know this stuff, right? And this is part of what I learned on the course, but it's kind of over time it helped me to kind of segment, because it's all different roles and different business parts of business. And so 50% in actually right now making one video, this is what needs to happen. And then 50% into the long term game of what do I need to master as a YouTuber. And what are these things that you need to master? You master ideation. Okay. This is the hardest part of the entire YouTube game. And if you look at automated channels or like channels that are doing absolutely fantastic and they have a huge team and all of them have different roles in the team, you'll notice the vast majority of the time ideation is not outsourced. Okay? It usually is the one that understands YouTube is the one that will do the ideation, which basically means finding out what the title should be for the video. That is a massive, huge skill to learn, because that's marketing. It's marketing 101. And if you understand that one, more people will click on the video because they click based on trying to solve their problems of either entertainment or wanting to get educated on something. And you need to then make sure that the amazing value that supposedly is on your video gets out to the people that need to hear it, and they're excited to actually click the video to actually learn what you put out. And if you have a horrible title, then who's going to click it? No one. And so that amazing video gets lost. Can you imagine the millions upon tens of millions upon probably hundreds of millions of videos with amazing content out there, okay? Inside information on a video, and no one clicks it. Like, it has received 10 clicks or 20 clicks for the entirety of the rest of the life of the owner of that YouTube channel. Like, what a waste, right? So it's like the number one thing that you need to absolutely hone in on and master, and you can study this stuff. Like, there are masters out there in ideation and title creation. And you could just study those videos and just note down, take notes and write down with a pen and paper, and then put that into your Google Sheets and try and like compare titles and make it better. Now, obviously, I could go on and on about how to do that, but I suck at it too, right? So I'm in the learning process myself, but just understand that that is a thing that you need to master if you're going to be a YouTuber. So remember what I said, 50% should be spent on recording and preparing for the video and obviously doing the ideation, but also the scripting and everything that needs to be done for a video. Great. That's 50% of your time that you invested in YouTube that week. And then 50% of your time is then focusing on the long-term game of ideation. That's the number one thing. We move on to the next now. But focus on one thing at a time is kind of the point. Is do ideation for at least a month and just spend tons of time. We're talking 50 hours, 100 hours, 200 hours studying ideation. Just that. And master that one thing and become the best at it, because that's going to pay dividends for the rest of your life, literally. But if you could invest 1,000 hours into it or 10,000 hours into it, even better, right? The more hours you put into it, the better you're going to get. And as a natural result, you're going to make it on YouTube, because that's how it works. The second thing is I would do the same time investment once I've kind of mastered ideation, you'll never master it completely, but at some point you need to get good at the other stuff as well. I would master thumbnails and understanding how to make an amazing thumbnail that's based on YouTube trends, but also what works, and spending a lot of time trying to figure out research, doing pair to pair comparisons, A B testing, whatever is necessary in order for you to succeed with thumbnails. Again, why? Because you want people to freaking click the video. There's only two things that people have to decide whether they want to watch this video or not, or at least give it a 30-second chance. And that is to see the title and see the thumbnail. Like, think about it. When you watch YouTube, what is your gauge whether you want to watch that YouTube video or not? A YouTube video that you don't know anything about, the only thing you might know about is, the person that owns the video or, that made the video, is like the only way that you're going to know if you want to watch it are those two things, is the title and the thumbnail. Makes complete sense. And yet people don't really care about it. We have multi-billion-dollar companies, okay, that create a YouTube channel and they have the same ugly thumbnail every single freaking video for years. And it's like, bro, like, basics of YouTube. Like, how about they invest in someone to either run their YouTube channel that actually knows what they're doing and they pay them good money to do it so that their business can actually grow on YouTube so that they can get some proper marketing done. But no, they don't do that. So if you understand the basics, you're way ahead of many big companies that have no idea what they're doing. So that's good for you. The next thing would be, what happens? You click the video and then you make a judgment. Okay, you judge the book by its cover. We all do it. And you figure out if you want to watch this video through and through based on the first 5 seconds, 10 seconds, maybe 15 seconds. Oh man, we're stretching it if we go into 30 seconds. If 30 seconds in, something's wrong with the microphone, or the lighting is bad, or you kind of have no idea what's going on there, or it's just not interesting and it's boring as hell, you're going to get out of that video and you're not going to watch it. And guess what actually makes you money as a YouTuber? It's watch time. So if people are not watching your video and you spend a lot of time in ideation and thumbnail, fantastic, but they're not going to watch it unless you have a fantastic hook. And that's a huge topic in and of itself that you could spend 100 hours, 1,000 hours, 10,000 hours mastering. And the more time you invest into mastering that, the more you're going to master it. So that is the top 3 things. If you ever only do anything on YouTube well, do that. Because pretty much after people have watched 1 to 2 minutes of your video, they most likely will continue watching the rest of the video as long as it's good, valuable content. But if you could only do 3 things on your YouTube journey, and then that would be it. You're never allowed to do any other expertise for the rest of your life on YouTube. You're still going to succeed on YouTube if you master those 3. How crazy is that? It's insane that you can make a multi-million-dollar business just based on those 3 skills that you need to master, but you got to master them, and then you can sell people whatever it is you want on that channel, and or just grow it and get money from the watch time. Because once you master the hook, like, you've pretty much mastered how to make a YouTube video and how to, do the remainder 10 or 20 minutes of the video, right? So, but we're going to add a little bit more to it, and I'm going to call hook/script because it's the same thing. It's just that you want to continuously improve the script over time. Like, when I speak live, obviously I don't have a script. I just kind of have some jotted points down here. But if you are an expert or professional at it, then you're probably going to have a teleprompter and you're going to have a script and you're going to read it because you want to improve it and make sure that people get a lot of value for their hardest currency, which is time, right? And so this is how it works. Appreciate all of you guys for watching. The last thing is editing. It's the last thing, and it's also the least important thing, except for during the hook. During the hook, you kind of want to have some really good editing eventually. In the beginning, you're just going to figure it out from the perspective of what type of words to use. but over time you want to be able to put some fanciness to the editing the hook, with some, maybe some music, maybe some, fast paced edits, whatever that makes it so that people get hooked. And I personally have had the hardest time with this. I just wanted, like, it was kind of like this. I don't want to do editing. I don't want to touch software. I don't want to touch the technical aspect of things. Ah, it's so horrible. And so I never actually mastered it. If I really thought about it, I probably invested less than 1 hours to 2 hours in learning editing in these past 7 years. But I would learn it if I went back 7 years ago and tried to start my YouTube again. I would try to learn the basics of every single thing on YouTube, the basics at least, even if it's just 100 hours of just tinkering around with Adobe Pro, Premiere Pro, or CapCut, or whatever, AI tools you have available these days, to just create some good hooks with edits, right? Because it'll supercharge your YouTube career if you actually manage to do that after having learned the three other aspects to the business. So if you really think about it, it's just these four things. Editing you can do to the extreme, which is with, you could add animation, or you could add sound design. Like, there's a lot of things you could do with the edits. But unless you love it and love cinematography and videography and editing and all that stuff, then you could outsource it as soon as you start making money on YouTube. It's just spend 50% of the money you get back from YouTube back into the YouTube business, and invest in the people that are helping you to, build this thing absolutely massively, right? Okay, and the last thing that I would master and invest lots and lots of time into, remember, you gotta invest a certain amount of time every single week, track that number, and keep improving, keep putting in more and more time into YouTube, into these things that I've mentioned. And then the last thing on that list is learning the outside monetization of YouTube. You can learn the inside monetization as well. That will kind of come naturally, because if you're serious about YouTube, you're going to be looking at your monetary data continuously every single day and trying to understand what is it that pays and what is it that doesn't pay. Why am I paid differently for this video than that video in terms of RPM, right? In terms of what you make per 1,000 views. But then you've got the other side of it, and this is where OnTrack are masters at this and want to help big YouTubers to succeed, is the outside monetization of your YouTube channel, right? Where you've gotten really good at gaining the attention of people and getting their eyeballs to look at what you've got going on. But then you've got the other side, which you should know extremely well, which is how to monetize outside of ad revenue. Basically, how to sell stuff to your audience and make sure that at least a fraction of them is freaking fired up outside their brains about being able to buy something from you because they love your channel, they love what you're bringing, and you've got tons of value to them that causes them to buy something from them. You know that Alex Hormozy has almost 4 million subscribers, and he sold his book, okay, for $30, and he sold 3.5 million books in 24 hours. And this was like a few weeks ago. He made $100 million in 24 hours from monetizing the eyeballs that he got from his channel with less than 4 million subscribers. 4 million subscribers is huge, okay? But he's produced so much value to his audience that he was able to make $100 million. Like, you understand how much that is, right? Like, you can literally live luxuriously for 10 lifetimes with $100 million. So the fact that he was capable of doing that, there's magic in understanding how to monetize the eyeballs that you get from your YouTube channel, and that's why you should do it. One more thing that I would have done differently if I started again 7 years ago, I started my YouTube now, is to choose your avatar real carefully. And what do I mean by avatar? My target avatar, the people that I want to get the highest value from my video. Who are they? Right now, it used to be men between the age of 35 years old that want to improve their life. that want to gain their financial freedom. And it before that, it used to be men between the age of 18 and 25 who wants to be on SR, right? Like, horrible target avatar at the time, but I didn't know that. And today, it's helping YouTubers to do outside monetization on their channel. So bigger YouTubers, because I've gotten to that point where that's what I want to work with. And if I had gone back, I would have chosen very carefully who that was, because I kind of just chose based on what was trendy or what I wanted to talk about or what was blowing up at the time. Like, no, think long term. Like, what type of people do you want to have come visit you in your house? Who would you want to go to dinner with? What type of person do you want to help the most out of everyone in the entire world? Think about that person. Figure out who your target avatar is for the long term, not just what's cool or trendy right now, because you you'll kind of get to a point where, man, I don't really want to talk to this target avatar anymore. Like, they're interested in stuff that I'm not interested in. And that's what happened with my SR niche. I'm like, this is not the type of person that's going to give me the joy, bliss, and happiness long term that I want for my life. I want a community of people that are business owners and that think big in terms of making money. And it's not just asking me questions about nocturnal emissions, you know? So choose your target avatar very carefully, and yeah, and get help if you don't know who you should target. Yeah, which leads me to the next one, which is I would have stopped the SR niche way before I stopped, right? Because I did that for literally 2 years, like something like that. Why? Why would I beat myself over the head with that? Although it's a great principle, and yes, it should definitely be applied, but I apply it naturally, 95% of my time of my life is I'm living the SR lifestyle, and other people are like fascinated about it, so they wanted more information about it. But one, like, I don't like the type of people that are, only thinking about SR and it's like their biggest addiction. Like, it's fantastic, okay? But you have to understand the other principles of life as well, right? And so as long as you start integrating the other parts of life, SR kind of happens naturally and gives you tons of benefits. Okay, so just the only thing I want to say on that. But also, it was not monetizable. Okay, the word S in SR makes it so that it's demonetized continuously for the rest of my life. Like, why would you do that? So I tried with seed instead, or other words that could kind of change that. It didn't work. Okay, so it wasn't the thing that I needed to do, and I did that for 2 years of my life. Okay, like, you don't have to do that. Find out what you want to, who you want to talk to, and then what you're going to talk about, and then stick to that until you've got 1 million subscribers. And then you can change it a little bit, but you kind of never want to really change the theme of your channel. You want to get to the point where you just segue maybe a little bit from what your main target avatar and the people, your audience, the people that are watching you. Because if you completely and utterly change what you talk about, those people are not going to be interested anymore. And it's basically like you're starting a new channel. But at least with that new channel, you now know a lot about YouTube. So you will probably make that successful as well. But why start from scratch when you've got a massive asset right there that can be built up and, further? So understand who you want to talk to and what you're going to talk about for life. And again, who you want to talk to for life. That's how important it is. It's like, get that equation right in your head. And then lastly, I would have done way more collaborations. So I've actually revealed now the 2 secrets from what I learned from the Graham Stephan course. Actually, just pick one thing and stick with that every single thumbnail, every single title, every single hook. All the time you're going to talk about this one thing. And you're going to beat it to death, and you're going to get bored outside your mind, but your audience won't. And your audience is going to become massively attracted to it, and they're going to stick around because that's the thing that they're interested in, or what they're struggling with, or whatever it is. And they're going to subscribe, and they're going to watch every single video about that thing because they're trying to understand it, trying to get to the expertise that you've got. one thing. For me, that was SR back in the day, and then it became 80-hour work week, and now it's helping YouTubers to succeed outside of YouTube with the monetization. Okay. And then the second part there that massively helped me from the Graham Stephan course was having collaborations with other channels. Just think about it from this way. You have a pool of people that are watching your stuff, and there's millions upon millions of other channels that have their own pools. And so I tapped into their audiences that had never heard about me before, and they would come into my vicinity because I had a collaboration with that person, and we put that on both of our channels. That was huge, massive. And that's what took me to 1,000 subscribers. And there's one of those subscribers that has paid me thousands of dollars throughout, the years because he stuck around for 7 years. Like, I have a lifelong friend from having built my YouTube that I got after 1 year of doing YouTube, and he found me on a collaboration that I did with someone else. Like, if I had never done that collaboration, he would have never met me. And so as a result, we wouldn't have been able to, do life together, basically, right? And so there's an awesome aspect to this that that you gain from expanding your reach to the world, and that's what I did with collaborations. And the bigger your theme is, like for example, finance theme, that's a good theme, or health theme, or relationships theme, right? You got to choose your theme and then stick with it for the entirety of that YouTube journey. And then you can do collaborations that kind of have something to do with that theme, because it your audience still will want to watch it, right? And so as a result, now you've got everything that you need in order for you to get to 1,000 subscribers. Literally, like I just gave you the whole freaking course right now. And obviously it's not organized as good as it could be, but in the future, maybe I'll create a course that people can buy. That's actually the one thing that I don't have out of the trifecta of community and coaching. I don't have a course, but I'm going to create a course at some point. And if you want to DM me for recommendations of who you should invest to right now, like if it's not Graham Stephan's course, I mean, that was a fantastic one. You've got Robert Benjamin. I'm probably going to invest in one of his courses now coming up. He's amazing on YouTube as well. But this list of who I would recommend to help you, like that's gonna change over time. So DM me at Joseph.ONTRACC to kind of get help with your YouTube journey, or get help with monetizing the eyeballs you already got on your channel, and I will do my best to help you out. And just wanted to mention that if I had applied these things to my YouTube channel 7 years ago, I would not be at 5,000 subscribers. I'd probably be around, I'd definitely be triple the amount of money that I'm making right now. I'd probably have 20,000 subscribers, absolute minimum, okay? Absolute minimum. If not a million subscribers or more. Like you obviously, we have no idea in an alternate universe, maybe someone applied this, I applied this in an alternate universe and got way bigger results than what I can even expect. But just understand that that's how it works. And the more you understand the basics, the more fantastic your life is going to be, right? You're going to become more fulfilled, richer. So many things will come from you building a sustainable and awesome business, and success is inevitable if you actually do the things that I mentioned here. Most importantly, never, ever, ever giving up, which I will never, ever, ever do. And so just keep going and make things happen. I'm very grateful for my journey as a YouTuber. Even though I only have 5,000 subscribers, like I said in one of my recent videos, I've made $240,000 from those 5,000 subscribers, which is insane to think about. An average of 40 grand a year, and living an amazing lifestyle in a country that I've fallen in love with less, which is very tax friendly, and just an amazing lifestyle that I've enjoyed because of it. And I'm grateful for you guys, because it's my subscribers that actually created that opportunity for me. And just to end with this note, again, like I said in the beginning of the video, YouTube is hands down the ultimate business to start on the planet for anyone right now. And it has been for the past 10 years since they came out with the monetization aspect of things. Even before then, it was still the best business that you could start, but we just didn't know it. No one knew that that was going to be the best business to start back then. But now today everyone knows, including you. So start your YouTube channel and never ever 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 stop uploading videos. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.